Shane, how's the break been?
Yeah, it was quite good. So we got to have a few days off after Richmond, which I think boys appreciated. So a few blokes stayed back in their home state or came back here. So it's just it's ability to have a bit of a mental break, probably more than a physical one. And we were back training Thursday, and boys seemed pretty keen to go.
It's like the weather gods are good on you. You'll be training this afternoon. You probably experienced this in Darwin on the weekend.
Yeah, well, Perth does have amazing weather and it has been pretty good here. So I ducked off back home to the farm and it was freezing. I reckon maximum was 12. So you're Darwin, you know, that's going to be a little bit warmer. So, but I think we'll be used to that.
What do you do anything different for Darwin? Do you go in heat chambers and all that sort of stuff?
No, I don't think so. I mean, obviously there are a few different conditions, but we get used to them over the summer. But the basics of footy, of where you play, if it's cold or hot, just being clean with your footy, using the ball well. So we won't be doing anything different.
Has it been a time to reflect on just how good you've been in the first half of the season?
Look, I think going along through footy, you always review each game, and you probably review a few things that have been going on through the year. So we haven't really reflected about how the year's gone so far, but we do acknowledge and appreciate that we've been going quite well. But that's been because we've been training well, playing well as a team, and doing what we're doing what we know we can do, and that's using the ball well, putting a bit of pressure on, and just keeping it simple. So that's one of the things we always keep doing going forward, and you're always adjusting that as the year goes on.
Top four, you probably wouldn't have been thinking top four at the start of the year. Now you'd have to start working towards that.
Well, it's one of those things at the start of the year, it's always hard. Everyone wants to have that belief that they can play finals footy, and what we wanted to do was improve from what we had last year. I think we've been able to do that. Blokes are a lot clearer on how the game should be played and how we want to play the game, and no doubt we've certainly set ourselves up quite well for the first half of the year, but there's still 10 games to go and anything can happen. So it's a cliche and I don't want to keep throwing it out, but it is, you can't look too far ahead, you just can't. So we're happy with what we've been doing. We're really pleased with the players and their preparation and the way we've been training. But I think that's been the key. If we can do that, that'll control how we finish the end of the year, and obviously it'd be nice to be able to finish up as high as we can. But you just got to keep winning every week. That's what you got to do.
Was the Sydney-Richmond result a bit of a reminder that you just can't afford to lose focus for 1 second?
Oh, you see that all over the competition for sure, and I think that's why the AFL would be happy with the competition being so even. Blokes, every team has a different strengths, and if they're on song and the opposition can't quite stop it, sides can be very hard to beat, and that's what we've spoken about a bit with momentum in games. Sometimes the opposition is going to get the momentum, so it's just how do you control that, how do you stop it, and how do you get it back on your terms.
Just on that Sydney-Richmond game, obviously a pretty big hit with Buddy there, but it's pretty much what the AFL's trying to stamp out, isn't it? That head-high contact, which is obviously running past the ball as well.
Yeah, it has been a little bit like that, I suppose, for the last 5 to 7 years. I mean, players understand that, and it's one of the things the AFL have been tough on, and you do want to protect the bloke going for the ball. I think that's the biggest thing that the players want is making sure the ball winners get looked after. So certainly whatever happens with that, we'll see what happens, but we'll be focusing on what we want to do this week.
Imagine you hope he gets 4 so that he can't line up against you boys.
Look, if that happens, that's it's just one of those things. But we've been happy with the way our backline's been going this year. Obviously, it's been documented about Brownie and Easy going down, but I think the way we've been playing team footy, and it forced us to play good team footy. So we think we can cover that, but we just got to make sure we focus on Melbourne this week because they've been playing some pretty good footy. So they got Geelong down in Geelong, which is a hard task to do, and they're in a bit of form.
Just on the D's, obviously Bernie Vince has been in sensational form. He's 38, 38, 34 and 4 goals in that time as well. Do you sort of look at putting a tag on him at all because he's got great skills as well?
Oh, he does, and I think even like Nathan Jones has been playing really good football for them, and I think that's what they're trying to do now is probably play a lot of good team footy. So whether we put a tag on or not, we haven't really done one this year, and I think sides are leaning towards playing team footy against certain opposition. You see it against with Nat Fyfe and Patrick Dangerfield. I mean, sides I reckon realise now if you're tagging an individual that it doesn't quite work with your team defence what you want to do, but you certainly got to have that string in your bow if you can.
Shannon, I know you said there's 10 games to go, but you must see it as an amazing opportunity with the ball in your court now where you can finish.
Yeah, well, it is a great opportunity. Every week and every season is a very good opportunity. And the thing that you want to get out of football is you want to be able to dictate what you want to be able to do and what you want to be able to achieve. And I think we've been able to do that for the first half. So certainly, yeah, the ball is in our court. Really positive and confident what we can do, but we just have to keep doing the basics and keep playing that team football. That's just been the biggest thing, doing the simple things well, which has held us in good stead.
Jeremy and Will copped heavy knocks against Richmond. How have they pulled up after the break?
They've been fine, and as I said, I think that's why. I suppose 12 weeks into the season, everyone has a couple of little things going on, so it's a good thing for them, as for a few boys in the rest of the competition. So they've pulled up well. They'll be able to train, and we'll just treat this week as a normal week now. You mentioned ball use a couple of times already today. You guys were 17th in disposal efficiency at the end of 2013. You're now in the top 2. How much is that a nod to the work that the coaches and you guys have put in time after time during the pre-season and throughout the year? Yeah, well, it's a whole club thing. So we're very happy and have great confidence in the coaches in our program that we have on board, and we always keep trying to push it as a playing group. Is blokes take ownership of your program, so there's no point floating through footy and not getting anything, or not getting the best out of yourself. And Matthew Prittis has been a great example of that. So I think blokes have realised that there's a few things they want to keep working on, and they've gone and worked on that. And that's just, we talk about all the time, is making sure when you train with a purpose and train to get better. And I think we've done that. We now have a bit more confidence in what we're doing, but now it's just important we keep improving and keep getting better.
Where do you rank your forward line? They're saying it's almost close to the best in the comp. Is it that good?
Well, we play on them sometimes at training, so it can be difficult at times. Look, I think we've got a very good mixture up there. So we've got a couple of key tools, a couple of very good smalls. And then you've got a couple of blokes playing in there that can put some good pressure on, get up the ground and kick goals. So I think we're quite balanced with what we've got there. We've got a lot of good attacking players, but they defend well down there and they work together. So it is a good forward line, but it's all about how the delivery in there and themselves working together, and they've been able to do that. Just
back on the ball use, you mentioned confidence there. You guys out of back the defensive 50 have been brilliant in executing confident kicks and taking things on. Do you just challenge yourselves each week to take that on and have no fear in terms of hitting targets maybe in the corridor? Oh, well, it's one of those things you always simply put, you want to try to kick to a free bloke. So yes, we do talk about it, about being that confidence. And I think you get that from training. The way you train and prepare is most likely what can happen on game day. So that's what's been pleasing. We've come in and had a purpose with the way we train. And confidence can be a funny thing, and we do have that at the moment. But if you don't leave things to chance, things don't become that big a risk. So we've got some good ball users in the back half and all over the ground, and good decision makers. But you have to be that in AFL today.
What do you have to be wary of against Melbourne? I mean, you'd watch their game against Geelong, I suppose. You have to see their best, don't you? Yeah, I like watching a little bit of footy over the weekend. So you try to keep tabs on who you're playing coming up, and they play some pretty good team footy and play hard. So they defend quite well, but they use the ball pretty well. So it won't be just one certain way that you have to get them, but certainly you've got to use the ball well. When they get it, you want to try to defend as well as you can. So there'll be a couple of things the coaches will look at and we'll have to implement.